Oh, shucky ducky, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope we're having a great day today. It is Tuesday the 10th rather, of January 2023. Where's my mouse? Oh, there we go. What a day, what a day, what a day. Despite the fact that we were having, or rather, despite the fact that I had a normal dinner time, and we ended up like getting caught up with some shenanigans that we wanted to try and figure out. And so now I'm streaming now. A bit late, so it's going to be another short stream. Anyway, hope we're having a good day today. Hey Shin, how's it going? Short stream. Short stream. Man, today, and I guess also yesterday, have been one hell of a day with regards to what's been going on online. And it's been rather irritating to say the least, because we're back at it again with an online personality that we like, that a lot of people liked. Notice the past tense, a lot of people liked. But as a direct result of some allegations, and not just some allegations, quite a lot of allegations made against them by multiple people, that it is now the appropriate position to not like them. And in this particular case, it's even more conflictingly annoying in the sense that, like, yeah, we're not going to like this dude anymore. But, why did it have to be him? His work has been so important. I am, of course, referring who? To Andrew Callahan. Channel 5, All Gas No Breaks. The guy who recently released a documentary on everything, on how, essentially how January 6th was built up and what we could learn from it. His work as a journalist, no clue who that is? Okay. He's a journalist he's like one of the, he was like basically one of the best journalists in America, who was able to really give a voice to people, to basically the voiceless, the people who truly represent, who truly represent America, able to give us stories about the Hoff twins, for example, who are a very fascinating group of fascinating pair of brothers, who are like two white boys living in a projects, living in a very black neighborhood, almost exclusively black neighborhood, talking about like how they grew up, how they lived as literally the minority of an otherwise black neighborhood, how they were raised and all that jazz. So they were, so he gave them a voice, and now we know about the Hoff twins. He also attended not rallies. He also attended varying events to give people a voice to express their feelings, because oftentimes when people cover things that happen in the news, the voice that gets, oh hey, Mr. M-Tashed, did you tune into the wrong channel, KSD? What's going on? Essentially, like, in a lot of events, the people whose voices don't get heard are like the randoms, the normal people who aren't like a member of some sort of government party or whatever, or like some sort of authority, or have some sort of authority. The people whose voices don't get heard are like the single mother who's just trying to make sure that her kids are fed. or the one random black teenager who wants to express her feelings because George Floyd's murderer was finally convicted, for example, or like the brother or the cousin rather of another victim of police brutality, etc., etc. Like just people whose voices don't actually get heard. Whoa, I don't think I've ever seen that finisher before. Anyway, so let's just get right into it. There have been a very large number, an annoyingly large number of allegations of sexual assault levied against Andrew Callaghan. Enough that has basically made most people believe that, this guy has been doing some very crazy things. And the allegations are very serious. And that's what makes it even more tragic, is that the allegations are so incredibly serious that there's no wiggle room. There's no wiggle room involved. This is not like an Aziz Ansari type dealio where it's just like, well, what you're describing just sounds like a bad date. No. A lot of the allegations in this particular case, it's just straight up sexual assault. No two ways about it. It's just straight up sexual assault. Sexual assault and there's a word to describe like just constantly trying to have sex with someone when they've clearly stated that they didn't want to have sex with you. It's called like badgering. No, not badgering. It's called like menacing. No, either way. Who's Callaghan? Andrew Callaghan. All Gas No Brakes, Channel 5. You guys don't know? I've shown videos of this guy before on stream. Yeah, let me show you guys. It's the guy on the left. The guy on the left with the tan suit. Jason Schreier? Well, that's a games journalist. I'm talking about like a general journalist. Andrew Callaghan, the guy on the left, he's basically known for a lot of videos that talk about all sorts of crazy ass things. Problem is, he's now also known for being basically a sexual assaulter. So there's been a lot of different allegations being levied. For starters, there was a person who has accused him of sexual coercion, sexual assault. So that's the first one. Involving getting her really, really drunk at a dive bar and then taking her home and eventually getting consent from her, which is a bit of a problem because that's not how consent works. It's like the idea was the allegation is that like originally she did not want to have sex with him. And they kept trying and eventually she was like, okay, whatever. Something like that. But that's not how consent works. You can't just like keep pestering someone all night long trying to get them to say, yes, I will sleep with you. Because that's just not how that works. Especially when they're drunk. So even taking away the fact that she was drunk for a brief moment, which pretty much eliminates the ability to even give consent, number one.
The reactor will have
but like to also try to like wear them down. Yeah, no, that's not good.
I have learned from this skirmish.
That's not how that works. There's also been a number of allegations to do with his behavior during high school, I think. I'll have to have a quick look.
Target found. Destroy it.
Hang on.
The power core has been destroyed.
How is doing Archwing in this particular type of mission, Shin, on the Switch? Is it about as much of a meme as it is doing it on PC? Okay, so there's been another allegation being made. Oh, this is the one where where the person would meet up with Andrew occasionally for sex, but only when she was extremely drunk.
Love folks who love what they do.
And he was very sexually demanding. There's been a few more allegations, including one where a friend was sexually harassed by Andrew. And they've also been allegations that date back as far as 2020. So the problem is that this is not even like a short-term thing or a recent thing. This has been a thing that has been going on since 2020. There are actually like Instagram stories that date back as far as at least 2021 and 2020, which is just absolutely insane. Tesha's selling Umbra mods, by the way, this week. Oh, okay, cool. Umbra mods? Oh! Wait, Umbra mods? Since when has he done that? So there's that. Umbra Former. Oh, that's more like it.
Thanks. I'll
I
take
don't
it.
think he's ever sold Umbra mods. There was a story. There was a story in late 2019, 2020, late 2019, early 2020, where someone came out. Where someone was talking about how Andrew, when he was 22, took a girl who was 17, i.e., underage, to a navy base, which is a very romantic place to hang out at, I guess. I don't know. And he was trying to grab her all the damn time. Basically being, you know, really grabby.
Distract the infested while alone.
It's a lot. Basically, the point is, there's a lot of allegations.
The infested are
And
releasing toxic
what's
spores
important to
into the air.
realize,
The emergency
a lot of the times with this kind of things, is like,
chance for
you are going to see a lot of people who think like, oh, dude becomes famous and suddenly all of this stuff comes out. The reality is that when someone is sexually assaulted like that, it is a very traumatic experience. Sometimes they don't want to come out and talk about it publicly, especially because when they talk about it publicly, 9 times out of 10, as is also in this case, there will be a lot of people who come back and say, oh, this is really, oh, you're just lying, I don't believe you, you're just trying to get attention, yada 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 yada. Really hurtful, really hateful things. Which is why, like, usually these kinds of allegations don't come out earlier. They tend to show up, well, later.
Get ready for a capsule.
Hence the Me Too movement. Hence people being more forward with, like, allegations of sexual assault and all that kind of stuff. People being more brave, actually, to speak out now, because we are now in an environment where it is more empowering to anyone who is a victim to come forward and you know, tell their story. Of course, that being said, you know, let's not forget, there have been instances where, like, things have been overblown. Like I mentioned, Enzine Sansari, I think is a good example of, like, someone who thinks that it was actually sexual assault, but in fact it was just bad dating. It wasn't actually that big a deal. And that was like one story, I think. I don't remember. The main takeaway, I'm kind of going all over the place, but the main point, it's really difficult Like, it feels weird talking about this kind of stuff, I think. But, like, the big thing is that when a lot of people come out to say not necessarily the exact same story, because there's a good fair chance that the person, the perpetrator, didn't do the exact same thing. But when it turns out that a lot of people are coming out with stories of a similar nature, it's that moment where there's smoke, there is most certainly likely fire. What we are waiting on now, and this is something that I'm really interested to see, what we're waiting on now is a response from Andrew himself. He has not said anything as of yet, and it's been like a day or two right now. The fact that he hasn't said anything for a day or two does lend credence to this idea, does lend credence against him. I.e., people are more likely to believe that, oh yeah, no, this stuff is real, when the guy who is being accused remains silent. So remaining silent when you have been accused of these kinds of things is not really going to be a solution that is viable. So I am hoping that he will respond in some way to tell his side of the story, because certainly what the first impression that I got when I heard the first allegations at least, was that, like, apparently in private conversation there has been indication that Andrew's belief of what happened is skewed and different to what the accuser's belief of what happened is. Which is interesting. So that's why I think... Oh wait, it's alleged? It is alleged, yes. One person... It's... So far we have heard from the victim's point of view. What they have said. There's a good to fair chance that what they have said is correct. So, for now, we have their side of the story. What we don't have yet is anything from Andrew. He has said nothing. And the further, and the more and more, and the, well rather, and the later and later he takes to say anything,
Life support activated.
the more and more it feels like maybe it's true, because we haven't heard anything from him. Like, we have not heard him provide any defense whatsoever. Now, that being said though, considering that he did recently release something on HBO, he's probably currently talking to HBO lawyers. That is a very big likelihood that the reason why there is this delay in a response that we are all waiting to hear from is because he is currently in... He may very well be talking with HBO lawyers right now. I don't know. I cannot speculate any further. I'm merely guessing. I don't know what's going on in his mind. I want to know what's going on in his mind. Does he flat out deny this?
Has been replenished.
Can he provide some proof? There's been like a bit of proof that has been provided by the accusers. For example, there was a photo of one of the people who is accusing him of sexual assault. One of the people of him and her in a bathroom at a dive bar with which they visited, which is part of the story because it is alleged that he got her drunk, very drunk, and then tried to have sex with her. So that's one thing. And then there's also been like some other stuff. I don't really do cancel culture, TBH. That may be, but we are talking about allegations of sexual assault and rape. So that's where things get very, very different. Cancel culture because someone said a no-no word, for example. Maybe not. Cancel culture because someone is a violent sexual assaulter? Sexual assaultist? That's not the word I'm looking for. Canceling someone because they are just violently sexually assaulting someone? Allegations let the court decide. We can't go back to the Stone Age where someone is guilty until proven innocent. That may be. There hasn't been any filing, as far as I can tell. So we are merely talking about the allegations that have come out. And at this point, we are in the court of public opinion. So, the question... So, right now, in the court of public opinion, the defense has provided nothing. This is purely a court of public opinion thing. Because there have not been... As far as I can tell, there have not been any... Like, as far as I can tell, they haven't gone to the police yet. Because they may be terrified of the police. And so they're merely just sharing their stories right now. I think this is still very important to talk about, and I think it's still really important to recognize that balance of probability, terrified of the police. Yeah, terrified that the police just... terrified that the police are going to do nothing about it. Which was always the fear prior, that's for sure. No. That was a real legitimate concern back then. Back before, like, Me Too. In fact, the very reason why Me Too really exploded was to try and... oh, by the way, if anyone wants to join... I realize I'm kind of getting way off topic now. If anyone wants to join the Archon hunt, holla. There has always been this fear among sexual assault victims that going to the cops may result in genuine retribution by the people that they are accusing, and also B, the cops might not do anything about it, and so they don't do any, and so they try not to do that. Angry Joe had the same thing happen to him, and what did Angry Joe do? Angry Joe said, would later come out and say, I am aware of these allegations and I will be making a response. Yeah, for like the first day or two, when those allegations were flying around, oh yeah, everyone was like, yo, Angry Joe, what the hell is this, right? Angry Joe acknowledged that the allegations are there, and then he directly responded to them. In fact, I don't even remember what happened. I don't even remember whatever happened to them. Angry Joe allegations. What happened to them? Here we go. Like, he just, like, he did issue a statement. Like, he did issue a statement against those allegations. And this was like after he, I think he acknowledged that they were around, at least. So that's kind of what I want to see, really, for real. Like, that's essentially what I want to see. Was accused of claiming to exhibit predatory behavior. Jesus Christ, they don't really talk about... And so he came out on Twitter and said, I want everyone to know that there have been some false accusations made against me, and I'm taking this very seriously. My lawyers are now involved, and I will have a full and complete public response shortly, but I have let them do their job first. That's the first thing he said. Why does someone have to immediately defend? It's not that they... Well, I think they should. I think it's important that, like, you don't necessarily have to immediately defend yourself, but it would be good to at least acknowledge there have been these allegations made against... Speaking as Andrew, for example, there have been these allegations made against me. I will be providing a full response shortly. That's pretty much what Angry Joe said. That's what Angry Joe said. And I feel like that might be the response. That might be the best way to deal with it. Kate guilty, no further proof needed. No. So, no. A lot of... And also in Angry Joe's case, I think it was like 1 or 2 or... No, actually, no, it was a few. Anyway. It's like this, right? draws more attention to it if it's not true, then more people might make shit up and stir shit up. Then you just need to rely on the people who will look at the story as it develops. This is a developing story, by the way. Yes, absolutely. You just basically look to the people who are looking at the story as it develops, and talk about the story as we currently understand it. With regards to Andrew Callahan, the story as we currently understand it is that a bunch of people have come out and said that Andrew does a lot of really, really creepy and actually genuinely sexually assaulting things. That's not the right way to say that. He does a lot of creepy things like trying to grab people while they're underage, and then also some actual genuine sexual assault, i.e. getting them drunk and trying to have sex with them and eventually having sex with them despite the fact that they were drunk. So that's the story as we currently understand it. Tomorrow, hopefully, or maybe sometime this week, I don't know, I am hoping that we will hear from Andrew. Maybe he'll say that all of these accusations are false, and then he will do a full response, a full statement with, I don't know, something that defends him, something that exonerates him. I don't know what he knows. I don't know. He must, sure, I would hope that he knows something. If he's going to try to defend himself, then hopefully he knows something that we don't know. You know? But until we hear from him, the story as we currently understand it is that a lot of people have come out with allegations, and that's why I keep saying the allegations. They're not facts yet, but they are currently allegations with some receipts. I feel like it's still a little bit shaky, but I'm willing to at least say, okay, these people believe that this thing happened, and these things happened. Until we hear otherwise, the story as we currently understand it is that these things happened. When Andrew comes out with a statement that maybe he will completely refute all of these allegations, then we can start to really discuss it. Do you believe Andrew? Do you believe his accusers? What is the evidence that Andrew is providing? What is the evidence that his accusers are providing? You're so wishy-washy with your opinion. With these kinds of things, you have to be. I stay put neutral? Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. But right now, it does seem... Balance of probability. It does seem like something has happened. Something has happened between Andrew and his accusers that is very, very bad. Oh. Something has happened that is very, very bad. And if any of those claims, if any of the allegations end up being true, I want room service too. Yeah, but if any of the allegations end up being true, if there is like any like other additional evidence, or if Andrew doesn't refute them, it's over. It's over for him. And it is, and I feel like the longer he remains silent, this is purely based on the court of public opinion. The longer he remains silent, the more guilty he seems. In the end, we don't know. In the end, I personally don't know what's going on. I can only speculate based on what we understand and what we know. Based on like everything that's come out. And based on everything that's come out, it does seem like he's been doing some very, very, very bad things. If it's true. And if it's true. As of right now, balance of probability, it might be true. That's life service too. That's what happens when you have a mum who just likes to cut up a mango. You prefer non-sliced? Really? One sec. So yeah, anyway, the main takeaway from this story as it currently develops, it seems like Andrew Callahan is a very bad person. It seems. And until he responds, that is the way that we understand it right now. Of course, we can also look directly at the allegations themselves to try and discern any hint of whether or not it's valid. Like, for example, if the allegations themselves seem weird, if there's like some weird messaging in them, if there's something weird about them, or if there's something wishy-washy about them, we can potentially look at that and think, maybe it's bullshit. There is one thing I think is worth discussing. When one of the accusers was talking, this was during, I think, the first allegation that came out that really sparked this whole thing in the first place. At some point during this person's video, she basically said something along the lines of like, I actually have some receipts, but I shouldn't need to show them. You should just believe me. And then just went on and on and on and on. I found that to be a weird thing to say. This is what I think.
We must understand this.
When I was listening to the allegations via a streamer, so like I'm basically going off streamer information and then, you know, all that jazz. This is like, yeah, it had very big trust me bro vibes. That line made me feel a bit, and since that was the first allegation that I heard, had it been only that, I would have been rather doubtful, personally. Personally, I would have found it rather doubtful, but I would still want to hear a response from Andrew. I would still be on the lines of like, well, you know, let's see what happens. Andrew needs to respond to this. It's important that he actually deals with this properly, and let's hear what happens, you know. But the idea that like, that she said was of something like, I have some receipts. I have a few receipts, but I shouldn't need them. You should just believe me. I found that to be a bit of a strange thing to say. Like, it's not victim blaming, I think, to suggest that like, if you're going to make a serious allegation like that, it would be good to make sure that your allegation is as waterproof as possible. You know? By not saying something that makes it a bit sus like that. But it's possible that she just said that because, you know, in the heat of the moment, and it is a very terrifying moment to actually like literally jump online and tell your story. It is a pretty terrifying thing to do, especially when your story is about someone who is in this case, getting very famous, very popular as well. That is the case with a lot of the Me Too stories. It was basically against powerful people who were also very, very popular. So you can imagine the amount of backlash that it's going to get. And you will get backlash no matter what. Mainly because people are dumb. And they're not going to, like, take your allegations seriously just cause. You know?
Excellent. A clean extraction.
But when you say things like that, I do personally find that to be a bit weird. That was when the first allegation came out. I don't think I came across anything with the other allegations as I heard them that made me that gave me pause, which is why I am feeling more like this is real. Like these allegations are looking like they're probably going to be true until, obviously, until I hear the other side of the story.
She will never forgive me. But you will.
So,
Won't you?
it all comes back to the idea, it all comes back to what I've said earlier. I think Andrew needs to really give us a timeline of how he is going to respond to these. So that even if we don't get a response, a proper statement or anything like that, we should at least get like some sort of acknowledgement that he is aware that these allegations have been made against him. And that he will be providing a response soon. At some point. Or maybe like what's going on. Because remember what Angry Joe said before his response to allegations made against him. He said he first started off by indicating these allegations are false, so in his mind, the accusations that were made against him were false. Awesome. And then secondly, he said there will be a statement shortly. Awesome. So we have an idea of when that's coming. And thirdly, he said, I will let the lawyers do their thing first, or something like that. Awesome. So we know what's going on in the background as well. Like, a response like that is exactly what I'm hoping Andrew will do. So that we the people, so that we the public who is basically following this story have an idea as to what is going on. Because it's very serious. It's very serious allegations made against someone that I personally think is a very, very good person. Was a very, very good person. His work, in my opinion, is some of the best journalism that we've seen in the past 2 years. But considering that a lot of the allegations that were made against him also happened to be also were being made in the past 2 years,
I will burn the sickness out.
makes me want to shake my goddamn head, you know? Makes me want to shake my damn head, bro.
There's a heavy
Shake
approaching.
my damn head. These allegations are too serious to be ignored. I hope Andrew doesn't just ignore them. I'm expecting that he won't ignore them. Because if his reporting is any indication of how he normally feels about these kinds of things, I think he knows what he needs to do. So I'm wondering, I'm hoping that he will be able to do so very soon so that we can hear his side of the story. And then we can make proper judgment as to like what's going on. But right now, it really does sound like he's a very, very bad person. And the balance of probability is leaning very heavily towards that side right now. So yeah, I wanted to at least acknowledge that today. That this story, as it develops, is really, really annoying. Because only that side has spoken. Exactly! Because only that side has spoken so far. And so when we analyze what that side has said, there's not been like not enough red flags to make me give a pause to even that side. And so right now, balance of probability is being weighed against him. Very heavily, in fact, too. Because it's like, a lot of people have come forward, and the stories seem legit, and there has been some evidence in the form of at least one photo of him with one of the accusers. Vodana boost? Yeah, Vodana boost. Except I'm not going to be using Vodana. So it's like, yeah. Yeah, that's no good. Anyway, I don't know the guy. I hope he rots in jail. So far, there haven't been any criminal. So far, the cops haven't been involved yet.
Listen in.
If the cops end up being involved,
Flock.
then it'll be a real like legal battle.
That first day.
And then it'll end up being like the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, like the Johnny Depp Amber Heard stuff.
How we
Were you paying attention during that whole fiasco? Like, that's a prime example. Right? That is a prime example right there. Amber Heard accused Johnny Depp of a variety of things, including physical assault and battery. And so for a time, people thought that Johnny Depp was a very violent man who treated Amber Heard like crap. Johnny then came out and told his side of the story, and suddenly people and his side of the story seemed more legit, and so people started to believe him. Of course, there were still people who believed Amber. It is what it is. This eventually led to the biggest freaking show trial in the history of Western civilization. We already got the story way before the trial, but we didn't know all of the story. The trial gave us even more of the story. And then it also gave us one of the best things that comes from a trial, which is known as cross-examination. Cross-examination. Where the defense asks questions of the accusers. The defense, in this case, Johnny, or Johnny's lawyers, were able to then ascertain details and also try to pick apart the story of Amber. So that's one thing that we get in the trial. Direct cross-examination. Very, very interesting. And what we found out in that one is that as Johnny was getting directly cross-examined, people didn't really lose faith in Johnny. Whereas with Amber, as she was getting cross-examined, a lot of things were happening that made people lose faith in her. Some people still kept faith with her, fair enough, whatever. Fair enough as in like, I'm not going to be able to convince them either way, whatever. But as I was watching it, via Asmongold, because like hell am I going to be watching a freaking trial without some fun commentary. You know, via the cross-examination, via the trial itself, we heard more and more and more about the crazy ass shenanigans that went on in that particular relationship. But that's like a prime example of the person was accused, Johnny was accused, Johnny responded, and then Johnny was able to successfully defend himself, and thus Amber lost the case. The second one, at least. Which is the one I watched as well, so, you know. Who knows? Maybe the truth, the real honest truth, is that Johnny Depp actually, you know, really did do some really bad things to Amber.
Successfully decoded
But as far as I can tell,
the area.
it seems like Amber Heard is very, very sus. As far as I can tell. And so right now, I believe I'm sticking with. I feel like Johnny Depp is in the right. Well, maybe not necessarily in the right, but like Johnny Depp is the one who I am more siding with.
Great ram, and the horns of him were crowned with soul and with tower.
So we'll see what happens.
And
We'll see what
upon his
happens.
tongue, the Zariman flame, and the mighty demon of the void cowered before him, and he feared it not.
They are broadcasting another message. Make sure the enemy never receives it. You have captured a radio tower.
I feel like looking back at some of the allegations that were being made against Andrew, the one where supposedly him as a 22-year-old getting really handsy with a 17-year-old.
Tower lost.
Not only is that, well, that among other things, I feel like that is also just a very clear sign that American sex ed is next to non-existent,
Control of all 4 towers.
and that Americans' age of consent and also how consent works. Like, just a lot of this also really says to me that Americans don't understand how age of consent works. Or, sorry, not how age of consent works, but how consent works when trying to get it. If a person is drunk, they are not able to get consent, that's it.
Keep fighting.
So trying to get someone drunk so that they will have sex with you. No, I'm sorry, that's still a crime. We learned that in primary school because we had sex ed in primary school. Shin, I don't know about did you have sex ed in primary school?
Must be captured.
And anyone else in the chat, did you guys have sex ed in primary school? The fact that I know this in year 6 and year 5 actually. The fact that I understood this in year 6, and yet to this day we still have stories that come out
We have
of
control
people
4 towers.
of people who will try to get someone else drunk, take them back to their apartment, take them back to their home, and then try to have sex with them. And think, oh, yeah, she may be drunk, but like, she said she was going to fuck me, and she said she wanted to fuck me. Yeah, I guess she was drunk, but like, you know, she said that. That's not how consent works, jackass. I get that you wanted to get your dick sucked, but like, bro, that's not how that works, man. You can't do that. If you need to get a woman drunk, start of high school, age 13. Oh, there we go.
Control of a tower.
So you and I basically understood how consent worked when we were 13. Meanwhile, to this day, we get stories of men, adults
Control of
in America
towers.
who would think that like, oh yeah, no, even though the person's drunk, as long as they say they want this dick, that'll do the trick, you know?
The enemy has captured a tower.
Like, what? How do you not know that that's not how that works? That's not how that works, jackass.
We are in total control.
And by getting them drunk and constantly asking them to the point where they eventually gave in, that's also not how consent works.
We need to learn of our espionage. Eliminate
Now, granted, I don't think I ever learnt about that particular scenario in sex ed. But as a lawyer, I think, said it very succinctly. Either a lawyer said it very succinctly, or it was Vouch. I can't remember. Someone said it very succinctly. That doesn't fly either, because that doesn't even work in contract law.
all messages.
You can't just, like, keep asking someone to sign the dotted line, sign the dotted line, sign the dotted line, sign the dotted line, sign the dotted line. You also are not allowed to, like, lock them in your lock them where you, in your home,
Possibility.
and not let them leave, for example, and scare the living bejesus out of them until they sign the dotted line. You're not allowed to coerce people into giving consent. Consent is only given when it is free of any coercion whatsoever, and of sound body and mind, and when they are of age. Tell that to the recruiters calling me all the time. They're just calling you. They're not asking you to sign a dotted line. They're not asking you to sign anything. They're not asking you to give consent to anything. They're just calling you. You can tell them to fuck off and then you just hang up. You can tell them to piss right off and then hang up. That's just how that works, you know? But yeah, the fact that a lot of people don't understand. I remember when I was watching something from John Oliver, and he showed this small video of a bunch of people from, I think it was Yale University, from Yale, in like some sort of a fraternity, yeah, in some sort of fraternity, and they were out on the field and they were all chanting, "No means yes, yes means anal. No means yes, yes means anal." And I'm like, that cannot possibly be real. How are you someone who managed to get into Yale? Oh, hang on. Maybe your dad gave him a contribution. But it's like, how do you get into such a prestigious school like Yale and still not understand how consent works? No means no, that's it. That's how that works. I know this, you know this, everyone in the developed world knows this. That's how that works. No means no, that's it. No doesn't mean, oh, but come on, please, come on. You can't just badger them until they say, yeah, okay, fine, whatever. That's not how that works. No also doesn't mean, alright, hang on, let me just get you super drunk and then I'll ask you again. That's not how that works. No also doesn't mean, okay, I'll wait until you fall asleep and then I'll, slip the dick in. That's not how that works either. No means no, end of discussion, that's it. Wait a few hours at least, and then be like, how about now? No. And even then, if you're gonna ask more than 4 times, bro, stop. It's like, imagine this. It's like, imagine running around bragging that you managed to, like, you managed to have sex with this chick. And then people are like, oh, cool, what'd you do? And you said, oh, I got her drunk. I got her drunk and then she decided to, sleep with me. I would look at you and be like, no, you're an idiot. You mean to tell me that the only time a woman is going to sleep with you is if she's wasted? Do you not understand that that is like a sick burn? Hey, Soup, how's it going? I'm like, do you not understand that that's just a self-report? A sick burn against you? It means women won't screw with you unless you're... Women won't screw with you unless they're wasted. This is honestly not my world. I'm old school. Yeah. Also, yeah, old school. I think general rule of thumb, if you're not sure, ask. In fact, don't even. Just ask. Before you're about to, slip it in, just be like, are you sure? Are you sure? Like, you sure? And if she's like, yep, Get in there, brother. You know? Because, like, you know, if you believe that there are signs there, awesome. But, like, if you're feeling really, really worried about it, just ask her, are you sure? Or, do you give consent? Or, do you want this? And if she says, yep, or some sort, if she provides any affirmative answer and gives consent, get in there. And if she ever says, no, 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 stop, stop. Don't keep going. Stop. Unless you're into some crazy kink shit, in which case, you better establish a safe word. Unless you're into some crazy ass kink shit where stop, where you have both determined the word stop doesn't necessarily mean stop, and that there is in fact a safe word, banana, then, you know, different kind of shenanigans. TLDR, be like Kate and never have sex to be safe. That is ironically a not bad idea. Never been in rapey situations? Yeah, exactly. JH Travel 123. Hello, hello, hello. How's it going? Not into drunk girls helps a lot. Yeah. How are you all? I'm alright. I'm alright. I remember... Like, here's a story. I remember I helped a friend of mine who was quite drunk. I helped a friend of mine get a friend of mine home. She was quite drunk. She sent me a message. She said, I need a lift home. So I helped her. Also, do you have Aloy and Genshin? Yep. I am allegedly the premier Aloy theory crafter. So, you know, she was quite drunk. As we were walking, we were holding some form of a conversation. Eventually I asked her if she wanted to maybe have a crack at, you know, making this more than just a friendship, and she said yeah. She was drunk. The next day she texted and said, maybe not. Let's just stick with being friends and we'll just go from there. No. No. I took her home. I made sure she got through the front door. That's it. That's it. I was a week late to get her. Ah, rip. Can I look at my nicks in HD from your stream? Oh yeah, sure. But that is like, yeah, obviously, from the pure selfish perspective, damn. But the reality is, that's good. And like something to learn from it is like, you know, don't go too far with someone who's drunk. And allow them the opportunity to rectify whatever it is they may or may not have said. She said, let's not go there just yet. Let's just, you know, let's just not do that yet. Okay, fine. We did actually go on a few dates afterwards, but we never like made it a proper thing afterwards, but oh well, that's okay. You know, that's okay. But nothing happened further than that. I don't think that's the end of the story. Well, yeah. We hung out a few more times, and then she went back to China. But the main takeaway I want you to get from anyone who is unclear about how consent works and how any of this works, take my story as an example of how it maybe should work. Yeah, if you want to like chat and talk and stuff, but remember, if they're drunk, they're drunk. Don't go further than just chatting. And you know, I've never heard of this word before. We know, Soup. We know. Consent, for those who are wondering, is the permission that someone provides for anything. When someone provides permission for something, for either you to do something to them or for you to have something from them, or for anything, really. Consent is another word for permission, basically. And in the context of sexual assault, consent is when your partner, the person that you are potentially trying to, you know, have sex with, says, yes, I want to have sex with you, or something along those lines. If they say that and you say that to them, you have both given consent. Feel free to smash. If either of you say no, then back away, back off, back off. It's that simple. But apparently, the allegations that have come out against Andrew Callahan suggests that even when he was told, no, I do not want to sleep with you, he still tried to sleep with them. Many, many times. What's this? Destiny 2 players are throwing games as the fastest way to grind Iron Banner. What? Okay. That's weird. So yeah. Thanks for the follow, JH Travel. Thanks for the follow. Alright, here we go. Showdown. Savage! Bro! Every single time you find a way to disappoint all of us. How? It is a friggin... It is a skill that you somehow have to consistently disappoint us in every possible way. No matter what, no matter when, you will find a way to make us all think, damn it, Savage, why? Alright, here we go. Let's do this. You should be his dad? Dude, I'm about as disappointed as his dad currently is. Surely. Daddy Gary? Papa Gary. Oh, that might be worse. I don't know. I don't know. Kata Daddy or Kate Daddy. Kate Daddy. Surely at that point it just circles around and becomes Kate Mommy. But if I'm being called Mommy, that's a bit weird as well. Listen, someday, maybe, there will be one, possibly two people, possibly three people who will be able to legitimately call me daddy and nobody else. Okay? So, I guess the main takeaway from that particular statement is use that while you still can.
Be at the forefront of the slaughter.
Why do you exist, and for what purpose do you serve? Oh, we know what purpose you serve. You serve the purpose of disappointing us 24/7. What if the only people that do it are guys? Well, if I find out that I'm actually gay, and then I adopt a kid who also happens to be a guy, and my partner ends up being a guy, because it's a gay family, then, you know, so be it. That's awesome. If I end up being gay, then, you know, it is what it is. I don't think I'm gay. But I'm not going to completely rule it out of the question. I just feel like, you know, I'm not going to rule it out. I'm not going to rule it out of the question.
You found her.
But I just feel like balance of probability, I am not.
Eyes can kill.
It's showdown. Yeah, what were you expecting it to be? What? Thank you. Ah! Ah! Should have found a place to hide. That was my mistake. Oh, dang it! Oh no. Okay, my timers were also... Oh, that's cool. My timers were also, petrified, so... My Madurai timer ended up... My Void Strike timer actually ended up freezing as well. That's cool. So nobody brought their one-shot builds. Sweet. No wonder this is actually turning into a bit of a challenge and an actual fight for a change. Alright, let's go. I'm dealing 60% damage? Really? Doing surprisingly well, Savage.
Barred the way to us heathens, but stolen deacon veils should allow you to deceive the
Shin, pick up. With dive bomb spam. Is dive bomb one of the few things that doesn't get damage yeeted? Shin, Savage, go B. I'll deal with A. And hopefully not die in the process. Oh crap. Gotta find this guy. Oh no, there he is. Go. Let's go.
Azul preaches of Tau, where once the great beasts held dominion. But none have seen Tau in centuries, nor heard it speak. Naira and her kin were doubly abandoned.
I can't remember. Is it yellow? It's yellow shard today, right? Right? Y'all really don't want to do this, huh? Alright, let's go. Wow, really? Oh, is it vulnerable? Hide! Nice.
You dealt with Archon Naira expertly, Tenno. Her kind may expect no mercy, no protection.
We just deleted 40% of his health? Well, someone did. Either way, let's get out of here. What the hell? Did I really just fall off the map somehow? Alright, come on. Tough forged! Ah! Rip. Oh, not like this. Not like this. Oh well. What am I up to with regards to what's this? Destiny players are doing what? Oh, is this about the... No, only need to hear it, no need to watch? I mean... Let's have a look at it anyway then. Hang on, let me have a look at something.
Destiny 2 players are throwing games as the fastest way to grind Iron Banner. And this method is called mercy farming. And you're probably asking yourself, why are people doing this? It is basically to farm reputation because getting rank 16 on the second reset is not so fun. It takes a long time, so instead of playing the game, most players are just sitting in spawn and doing absolutely nothing. They are actually throwing their games so they can get the reputation faster, because getting mercied only takes a few minutes versus 10 minutes for an entire match. And at the final rank, you get a very cool shader called Iron Counter Shade. So that's what they're going for. Do I think people should be—
Wait, are they literally just doing it for a shader?
not, especially if you're playing solo. And
Is that it?
for the rest of your team. But mercy farming has been growing and growing. There are now LFG groups searching for 5 other players to throw games essentially by doing nothing. When I went against my first team of mercy farmers, I thought somebody on my team was cheating. I did not know that this existed yet. I was very worried.
For the seal?
What do you guys think about this? Is this acceptable behavior from Destiny players? Personally, I don't think so. But I do understand that there's a lengthy grind for Iron Banner, and I'm sure a lot of players don't want to do that.
I
But
mean,
come on, man.
ultimately,
Mercy
I just
farming?
don't.
Let's hope.
Oh, oh, right, I understand. Mercy farming. Right. Okay, now I understand. They're trying to make it so that eventually the thing, the match just automatically finishes itself off because the what is it? The scores are too far away, too far from each other. Oh, okay. Anyway, I mean, yeah, the idea that the game actually is faster to grind by just AFKing is just super duper cringe. That's just cringe, and Bungie needs to fix that. But what are they doing this for? Just a title. A seal and a title. No, I can't fully AFK. Yeah, but throwing is about as bad. So that's kind of like Dog Days in Warframe as well. Yeah. Yeah? Was it? I don't know. Anyway, the idea that, like, you basically throw games in Iron Banner just so that you can get up to rank 16 so you can get a title and a seal. It's not even a bow. I mean, it just sounds like it's cringe in every single possible way. Just sounds like cringe in every possible way. Not only is the reward for it, not only does the reward sound cringe, but the way to get that reward that they're doing is also pretty cringe. In a game mode that's PvP, so that also is rather cringe. It's just cringe on cringe on. It's cringe cubed. That's what it is. The shader gives a chainmail texture, they say. Add a texture. Add a shader, rather. Maybe it's just me. I don't care. This is my personal opinion. This is just cringe on cringe on cringe on cringe. It's too much cringe. I cannot handle that much. So this particular YouTuber asked, what do you think about it? I just think it's stupid in every possible way. What happened to your background music, by the way? Oh! You mean like the lo-fi hip-hop and stuff? What tends to happen is when I'm playing a game and I have lo-fi running in the background via YouTube, because Chrome takes a lot of... For some reason, Chrome takes a lot of resources. I decided... Nah. Chrome was actively making everything lag a little bit. Well, not a little bit. Chrome was making everything lag just a bit too much. And so I decided a while ago, I was like, nah, never mind. With the exception of like Spiral Abyss, where because I would also want to use the Spiral Abyss runs as videos later on. So that happened. Does that make sense? And even then, like, if you look back at my Spiral Abyss streams, the moment I start using other music as background music, the frame rates drop a bit. It goes down from like crisp 60 or 45 to like a very crunchy like 35. And it's not because my computer can't run the game and play at the same time and stream at the same time. It's because my computer can't run the game and stream, but then also deal with Chrome and YouTube and the YouTube video player at the same time, because for some reason the YouTube video player is very heavy. It's very, very heavy. Yeah. It's very, very heavy for some reason. And I'm using YouTube to run my music. If I'm not using like Spotify or anything. Because I don't have a Spotify account. Just download them, turn it into MP3 files. That's not actually a bad idea. That's actually not a bad idea. But like, what I was running before was a radio. It was the it was the NCS, not NCS, it was the lo-fi hip-hop radio. So, A, I didn't have to download anything. B, and this is the best part, it was just basically random, effectively as close to true random music, lo-fi music as I could get, because it wasn't even me who was choosing the music, it was just someone else who had a playlist and was just constantly playing it 24/7. So you know, that's random. And that's what I wanted. I just wanted random music. I didn't want to like do anything too predictable, I guess. That's just what I think. I have a playlist of 200 Vocaloids. Nice. I don't have a playlist of anything, really. So, in the meantime, I just let the game music be the music, because game music can also be very, very good. Just depends on what game it is. Warframe game music can be pretty good. Genshin game music tends to pop off big time. Destiny game music is fine. Needs more Deepstone Lullaby. Oh, is that the music from Deepstone Crypt, is it? Okay. Horizon music, I think, was pretty good. Yeah. A lot of video, like, these days, a lot of video game music is popping off. So, yeah. Ooh, did you guys see the trailer for Ant-Man Quantumania? This is going to turn into a Just Chatting stream again, folks. We might chat for like half hour and then just call it a night. Hot tub stream? I don't even have a hot tub. You know what? I might as well close Warframe as well. Let's bring out lo-fi hip-hop radio. You want those lo-fi hip-hop beats? Let's do it. Oh, that's very loud. One sec, everyone. There we go. I think I'm too old for Marvel now. You reckon? I don't think there is such a thing as being too old for Marvel. I think it's just more like if you've fallen off the Marvel train, then so be it. I haven't. But I can't say I'm super duper excited for Ant-Man. I'll still watch it. But I can't say I'm like super duper like uber excited these days for Ant-Man. I was very keen beans for Black Panther. I was very keen beans for Spider-Man. I was mildly disappointed about Eternals. But I was very keen beans for Shang-Chi as well. Those are the latest ones that I can remember anyway. Ant-Man? Bit on the weird side. Why was the OG Black Panther rated so high anyways? Because most of most of it was pretty good. Everyone says like the last bit of it, like being the final battles, were a bit janky in terms of effects wise, but otherwise the story was very good. The story was pretty good. The story of like the king who gets confronted, the king whose entire kingdom is confronted by big questions that they kind of need to answer, and eventually they change their ways and they actually open up. But at the same time, the T'Challa himself has to go through his own personal journey of like regaining his power. What are his powers? Who? Ant-Man or Black Panther? OG Black Panther was pretty good. Black Panther? The Black Panther's powers, well, so first off, he gets the heart-shaped herb crushed and made into some sort of a potion that he drinks, right? That gives him the power of mildly faster speed, mildly, and a bit more strength. And then a lot of his power also comes from his suit, being that it's a vibranium suit, meaning that it's hella durable, you can't just shoot it. Enhanced condition, yeah. You also get the vibranium claws, which can cut through just about anything. And then on top of that, his suit also had the ability to absorb kinetic hits, which into some sort of energy, which he was then able to release afterwards in the form of like a great big shockwave. So his suit had a bunch of powers, and the fact that it was vibranium meant that it had additional properties. But then also the heart-shaped herb would make him a better Captain America. Pretty much, he was basically the Black Captain America, the African Captain America, if you will. Yeah. If you recall back to Infinity War, when Black Panther and Captain America are ready to Black Panther, Captain America, and everyone else is ready to charge at the enemies. Remember, the army charges forward, but there are two people who happen to charge forward a lot faster than everyone else. And it's Black Panther and Captain America, because they have enhanced speed because of, in Captain America's case, the Super Soldier Serum, in Black Panther's case, the heart-shaped herb. Yeah. And then don't forget, to be the Black Panther also means to be, I think that's how it works, to be the ruler of Wakanda. Whether that be, in Shorty's case, Queen of Wakanda, although I think she abdicated, or in T'Challa's case, King of Wakanda. So, you can also argue that the Black Panther's powers also include his political power, but then also his power as the commander-in-chief of an entire, or not even just one entire army in the form of the Dora Milaje, but also several additional armies, including the border guys, the guys with the friggin' the guys with the shields, and all that crazy stuff. Imagine trying to send Thor versus God of War Thor DCU. Wait, what? I do wonder if Chris Hemsworth Thor going up against God of War Thor. I mean, theoretically, it should be an even match because they're both the same people. They should be both the same power level because they're both Thor. I don't know who would win, honestly. I honestly don't know who would win. What if Henry Cavill gets hired by Marvel? Not even what if. There was a rumor running around that Henry Cavill will play a character called Captain Britain, I think it is. Is that a character? Yeah, Captain Britain is legit a character in Marvel. Although I think right now I think right now the character who's Captain Britain is effectively just like, what if Peggy Carter became Captain America, but obviously because she's British, she becomes Captain Britain. But there were rumors that Captain Britain who could also be known as Brian Braddock. I'm just looking on Google right now. Who was apparently a PhD, by the way. If like Henry Cavill could definitely play Captain Britain, aka Brian Braddock, PhD. So it's not even what if, it's could it happen? I don't know. You don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. He could show up as a cameo. Maybe he'll show up as a cameo, or maybe he'll show up as a side character. Or maybe they'll go whole ham. Like, to me, until the next, like, big Avengers level threat, to me, right now, Marvel's in there, like, Marvel's in there, it's in that stage where it's like, they're kind of just going all over the place and just doing everything. They're in there, I'm so powerful, I don't give a fuck, I'm gonna try everything. We're just gonna do whatever. If it's great, awesome. If it's not, then whatever. You know, so like, they're going into TV shows now, some of which are pretty decent. Like, I think WandaVision was pretty good. And what was it? WandaVision and Loki, I think, were pretty good. Some were meh. Like thingamajig, like Kamala Khan. What's her one again? Oh, what was it called again? Not Captain Marvel. Miss Marvel. I thought Miss Marvel was like, like some of it was pretty good, and then some of it was like, okay. And also She-Hulk, where like some of it was some of it I thought was pretty good, and then some of it was like, okay, a bit here and there, you know. But I feel like Marvel is just in that phase where they don't really care. They're just like, we're gonna do everything. We're going to bring back Charles Xavier, despite the fact that he died in Wolverine. We're gonna bring him back, and we're gonna murder his ass. We're going to tease everyone with Reed Richards, and then we're gonna kill his ass. What's this? Honkai 6.4. I have no idea what's going on with Honkai. What's this? So, her share of finality V1, V2. So what? V2, she's got extra wings. Okay. This is pain? In what way? Wait, so she always had wings? Okay, what's the difference? A little further about the animation, about what the animation changes. Okay, that looks functionally the same. Okay, that's looking functionally the same. I mean, I'm not seeing any— oh! Hang on. Was that— did she end up going backwards? Goes backwards, goes forwards. Oh, okay. Nope, never mind. I don't think so. No, I think there was a turn in there. I mean, the timing seems a little bit faster, but aside from that, the two important ones that got completely removed. Yep. Yeah. Maybe the timing wasn't changed. I don't know. Well, I guess in V2 the background doesn't go purple, right? So I guess it kind of loses a little bit of its epicness. Why can't Warframe have cool melee like this? They did. It was called Bladestorm, and everyone complained about it, Shin. Mainly because it took too long, but that's why it became optional. Whoa! They got rid of— wait, what's that? What the hell is that? A stretching and laying animation got removed. Okay, oh no, trio. Okay, oh. Oh! That's different. Ah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, no, V1. V1's better. Yeah, V1's better. I think I understand why they went with V2 for that one though. Because it's faster. Right? That's the idea, right? It's faster. And so they figured for faster gameplay, they won't do the Yalan shit. I understand the pain, but like... gameplay-wise, you're probably going to want the faster one. Well, that looks functionally the same. From laying snap to just snap. Okay. Hey? What's that? Oh, they also lost the cinematic camera. Oh, okay, that's no good. What is happening here? No, that looks mostly functional. Why am I not on? Oh god, why am I on 480? I'm sorry everyone, that was weird. Well, that looks functionally the same. Missing some extra... So, V2's got some extra wing bits, that's cool. Wait, what the hell's this? Trio Ultimate. Oh, okay. Well, that looks functionally the same. Yeah, it looked pretty much the same. Hey? V2 win pose is better. I don't know what about the V2 changes for the oh, I don't know either, mate. I don't know about any of this. That's got to be just pure clickbait, right? Is that meant to be Mr. Beast unironically playing Honkai? Did that actually happen? Or is that just clickbait nonsense? Oh, whoops, I just killed the music. Alright everyone, I might just call it a night here. Thanks for watching everyone, hope you guys enjoyed this stream. If you did, don't forget to follow and feel free to sub. If you're watching on YouTube now or in the future, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Peace!